This is the story of 5 generations, a journey that began in the heart of Hyderabad, one built on trust, craftsmanship and tradition, a brand that continues to stay rooted in its values while evolving with time. This is the story of Kishandas and Company, a legacy that began with a dream and endures through generations.
Anybody can sell jewelry, but not everybody can value jewelry. So you have to first understand what you're selling rather than just going and selling.
One thing what I understood is that there were a lot of characters.
We are all putting our stories into it.
I think the film would not be the same if it didn't have the correct costume and the jewelry.
Jewelry buying is all about trust.
It meant a lot of jewelry, it meant a lot of investment. That's actually not a very good one because she was very rude.
आपको पसंद है ये करना वैसे? अच्छा लगता है आपको ये पर्ल्स छाटना?
मैं 1958 से कर रहा हूँ। डेली तो नहीं, मगर ये सुबह अर्ली आवर्स करते हैं हम लोग। मगर अब ये मैं से काउंटर पे नहीं होता मैं, तो ये करता हूँ बैठ के।
स्पेशली आपने अपने लिए बनाया है?
घर में बैठूंगा तो तबीयत खराब हो जाती है।
तो उसमें पता कैसे चलता आपको कि कौन सा मोती सही है कौन सा नहीं है?
ये हम लोग पहले इसको देख लेते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग डिसाइड करते किस में डालना।
क्वालिटी कैसे बताते हैं इसमें कि अच्छा क्वालिटी का है?
ये सबसे बेस्ट क्वालिटी है।
अच्छा, पर बेस्ट मोती किधर मिलता है आपके हिसाब से वर्ल्ड का?
वर्ल्ड का बेस्ट बसरा में।
बसरा
अब तो ख़त्म हो गया, मगर जो भी आया है बेस्ट
बसरा है।
बसरा पर देखिए साहब, बताता हूँ आपको, कल्चर के अंदर जो है ना, ये कोटिंग ऊपर ही रहती, अंदर भीड़ रहता। अब इससे देखे तो मालूम हो जाता है। और ये बसरा पर टिल एंड तक आपको लेयर्स के लेयर्स आते रहेंगे। ऐसा उठा के देखिए, आपको इसमें शाइन, राउंडनेस, कलर एक अब देखिए। ग्रैंडफादर। हाँ।
कब स्टार्ट किया था?
1870। गोलकोंडा फोर्ट में, वहाँ से शुरू किया हम लोग। पहले सब ज्वेलरी की दुकान वहीं थे, उसके बाद कारवान को आए, कारवान से चार मीनार से फिर इधर आ गए। अलग हो गए ना सब, चार मीनार में सब अलग हो गए। अब जब अलग होने के बाद मैं 1 महीने तक दुकान में बैठा तो कोई नहीं आए, तो मुझे डाउट आया कि अपन नहीं कंटिन्यू कर सकते। तो मैं घर में बैठ गया सब दूसरों से कांटेक्ट करने के लिए कि दूसरा बिजनेस स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो वो जो बेगम है ना, दुकान में 4 वक्त गई तो मिले नहीं। तो उन्होंने फिर फाइनली पूछे उन्होंने कहाँ हैं उनसे इस वक्त, तो वो एड्रेस लेके घर पे आ गए कि अब क्यों दुकान में नहीं बैठ रहे। बोला सब बेगम 1 महीना बैठा, कोई आया नहीं, तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ कोई दूसरा बिजनेस स्टार्ट करूँ। नहीं, आप ये कंटिन्यू करो, आई विल हेल्प यू।
Daily, my father used to go early morning around 8:30. Used to start from home, and that time, like driving alone, he has to go all the way to Charminar and then work all the day, and then around 8-9 o'clock he used to come back home. So like it was very tired for him, and he was almost 50 plus that time. Yeah.
आप स्टोर पे जाते थे तब भी?
No, that time I didn't go to the store, but like from my early childhood, I used to sit in the store. My father used to make sure, like in holidays, we used to spend at least 3 to 4 hours daily in the store, just sitting there, nothing. We don't do anything. And then gradually started sorting pearls and diamonds and everything under my father's guidance.
So I remember this story once. I was learning about gemstones from my dad. He mixed up 2 fake gemstones in a real gemstone packet, and he asked me to assort and find the fake ones. It took me a while, a couple of hours really, to find, because I didn't know actually how it looked. So that was the way I have been trained and brought up by my dad to identify fake gemstones from the real stones.
After my marriage, my father-in-law said that we need to have people, family people in our business. So you come to the business. I said, okay, fine. And as you know, I was always inclined towards fashion, jewelry, and all was very enticing for me. So I think I blended very well.
I've been exposed to the business in some way or the other right since childhood. So my grandfather used to always tell me stories about how this would be a noble business and you'd get to meet great people, you'd get to see things. Now that I look back at myself, the 10-year-old, 12-year-old, I think is the best thing I did, because obviously you get to meet great people. It's one of the most noblest of the businesses, and it's also in the DNA.
So because I'm the youngest, it's not only dad and grandpa, I'm learning from everyone. But the thing that I'm learning the most from my grandpa and my dad is to be dedicated. And that's the most important thing of a business, not only jewelry, but any business.
So when pertaining to this show, I didn't know I had to have to push my people so much. And basically whatever interviews and all come up, I only give, I'm like the face, because I don't know whether they don't want to talk. I think they just want to work. But I think they did a pretty decent job. 35 on 100, I think.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm running up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself.
And they say that you're a hard man to get because you like to go to work, you don't give time to anyone.
Yeah, definitely I want to sit in the store like from morning it opens to like till the time it's closed. It's a passion actually. Okay. It is like coming from the heart.
Or what time you decided, okay, you like this?
There was no time actually to decide, it just continued, and just from we had holidays in December for the Christmas holidays and New Year holidays. So that time I went to the store with my father and then started doing a little bit of business and like interacting with my customers, taking orders, small orders, So that worked, and finally had to leave school and then stay with my father. He taught us like how the symptoms of the stones, of the real stones are, and how the artificial stones look. So that we used to follow.
And post you, your brother also joined the business.
Yeah, like he finished his graduation and then he joined the business. In between, he used to help us in his holidays. He used to come to the store, and then we used to assort on Sundays.
It all started very young. As a kid, I saw my dad assorting pearls, rubies, emeralds at home in the mornings. We used to go sit beside him and see what he was doing. The color of the gemstones, the pearls, it fascinated me a lot. This continued for a while, and after my graduation, I joined the store where I learned the other aspects of making of jewelry, designing the jewelry, blending the old heritage styles of work which India used to have, like the Meenakari work, the Kundan work, the Jadao work. With the new trends of new machine-made jewelry, I like to cohesively get the two patterns and styles together for the market.
Kishan, tell us about the process of jewelry making at Kishandas. How does it work?
So as we identify a gem and we have to create a design according to the gem, and then we call the karigars and give him the other raw material required according to the pattern, and then it is taken forward.
Everything is like in-house manufacturing and all handmade. We don't do any kind of casting or molding work. And even the karigars, they are like from generations, like their forefathers used to work with us, and now their grandkids are also working with us now.
Yeah, I'm rolling. Sound, camera.
वो
सामने मत देखो.
नहीं बोल सकते कि थोड़ा टेंस फील है, यार अच्छा भी लग रहा. फर्स्ट टाइम मैं కెమెరా ఫేస్ कर रहा हूँ. ఈ వర్క్ చేయబట్టి 34 ఇయర్స్ అవుతుంది. నేను ఈ షోరూంలో ఫస్ట్ మా గ్రాండ్ ఫాదర్ చేశారు, తర్వాత మా ఫాదర్ తర్వాత నేను చేస్తున్నాను. ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ 3 జనరేషన్స్ నుంచి ఈ కిషన్ దాస్ నుంచి మేము కనెక్ట్ అయినాం. మా ఓనర్స్ మొత్తము డైమండ్స్ వస్తే తర్వాత వాళ్ళు చెక్ చేసుకుంటారు. చెక్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత వాళ్ళ స్టోన్స్ కలర్ మ్యాచింగ్స్ మొత్తం చూసుకొని మా షోరూమ్ వాళ్ళు కొన్ని డిజైనింగ్ చేసి ఇస్తారు. ఆ ప్రింట్అవుట్ ఇస్తే డిజైన్ ఇచ్చేస్తే దాని ప్రకారంగా మేము ఆర్నమెంట్ తయారు చేసి ఇస్తాం. మేము ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ ఫ్యామిలీ లాగానే ఉంటాం. మనం చూసుకోవడం కూడా వర్కర్ లాగా కాకుండా ఓ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్ లాగానే చూసుకుంటారు.
कुंदन का काम इनके फादर से सीखे.
अच्छा.
फिर ऑलमोस्ट 20-30-30 साल तक काम करे ना आपके पास?
नहीं, 50 ईयर तक.
50 ईयर्स तक हमारे पास काम करे.
किशनदास जी बोले तो उन्होंने जो है हमारे को जो है बेटे के साथ देखते थे.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
So when I was practicing my architecture, once we got a opportunity, the magazine Vogue, they were doing a wedding show, and through one of our very old clients, Pinky Reddy, she brought the Vogue people to us because that time they wanted to have one jeweler from every city and make it very exclusive. So Pinky Reddy brought them to us and we had a stall with them in 2013.
Now I'm going to start from the beginning.
Okay.
I'm Pinky Reddy from Hyderabad, born and brought up here. My mama would say, we're going to Charminar. I'm like, okay, on the way we used to go to Meena Bazaar, buy one, get one Coca-Cola. And we were not allowed, we were like banned from having too much of Coke. And we used to go there and we used to get Coke with samosa. I got my ears pierced in Kishandas' store as a little kid. Just take a picture, I want to see. Yeah. Staircase was so steep, we used to walk up like that, and this huge hall.
Do you remember any particular piece, probably which you're carrying, your mother or grandmother?
So when I was a little child, I remember my mother bought the beautiful traditional Nagpani, the snake god. And they used to have a small one, I had a big one that my mother bought from Kishandas. And I wore it as a little child. My daughter wore it as a little child. Now my granddaughter's worn it the other day for her first birthday. So that shows, just see the generations who have worn this jewelry. I want to show you one when I must have been 7 or 8 years old. And my nani, my grandmother, took me to Kishandas's store in there. It was a Haveli in Charminar. And I was so bored, I was like, I have to do something, I want to go. And Kishandas coming to me, I actually have a visual memory. He showed me this box of silver jewelry. He said, come on, play with it, pick up something what you want. Can you believe it? I got these pajeb. These are like to wear for your feet. From him, this is almost 45 years old. These and these. They had a lot of silver in those days.
आपको याद है आपने?
याद है बहुत पुरानी बात है. हम छोटे थे जब आते थे दुकान में, खेलते थे सब बैठ के. पिताजी कसम खिलाए हमको, बिजनेस में बैठेंगे ना, अब उन्होंने जो डिमांड किया वो डिमांड दिया. उन्होंने प्योर गोल्ड बोले तो प्योर गोल्ड देना, 22 बोले तो 22 देना, फर्स्ट क्वालिटी के डायमंड बोले तो फर्स्ट क्वालिटी के देना. उसमें ज़रा भी गलती हुई ना तो मैं तुम्हारा फेवर नहीं करूँगा. अगर कुछ गिराक आया तो गिराक का फेवर करूँगा. मैंने कसम खिलाया मैं भी. अगर कुछ हुआ तो मैं अपना अलग हो जाऊंगा.
That is the first thing my father told me, like whatever happens, we should be very honest with the customers, everybody in our life. And like अपने पास से थोड़ा गया तो it's okay, but दूसरों का एक रत्ती भी अपने पास नहीं आना.
To build a legacy, it is very important to implant yourself with the honesty and the quality which you have to cater to the clients. So that has to be implemented, and that's what we have been trying to learn from our fathers and forefathers, that we have to continue with the same legacy of being very honest to the clients.
That's the reason you introduced them to Vogue also. Can you just tell me about that?
Oh yeah, that was an amazing experience. Vogue actually is a lot of people working in Vogue were very close friends of mine, and they had asked me to help them out because this is the first Vogue wedding show which they were coming up in Delhi. Then I thought the person who really needs to go and show their jewelry is Kishandas. The reason is they're so conservative. They're always in their little, like a little box, a little bubble. They don't want to go out.
It is that time that I realized that though we were a very old company, we were making great jewelry, we had very good clients, we had very big clients, but I felt that the marketing bit was lacking in my company. And my family, they used to strive on the old traditional way of business, that is word of mouth.
Jewelry was not just a thing to wear, it was a legacy to be carried forward, to be owned for generations. The heirloom that we call it, the family heirloom that's carried forward. The important thing was, Hyderabadis always had their favorite jeweler. We lose our elders in the family at times, so the family inherits jewelry. What do we do? How do we kind of get it evaluated? So the only place, let me be very frank about it, we land up at Kishandasji's, and that's where we sit down. We take his time for absolutely nothing. And he, as a member of the family, he as an elder of the family, will advise you what is what, give you the precise best figures of that, and tell you how to go about the division as well. So he just doesn't really work as a jeweler, he helps us as an elder, a family elder, I would say. Both his sons, Nitin and Prashant, his daughter-in-law, Pratiksha, and I tell you his grandchildren, I see that dignity, I see that, respect and all that that's been inculcated through their elders, and that happens when the family passes on what they've been carrying forward for generations.
When I get a thought process about a design and then my artists draw and then it goes to the weavers, we are all putting our stories into it. The same way with the jewelry. When they are designing, they are thinking of something, they are putting Prashant or Nitin, they are designing, they are putting something into it, what their mood is that day. And then when it goes to the Karigar to create that jewelry piece, even that Karigar is in that thought process. So here now we are selling our stories, our emotions. But at the same time, it's the tradition of India what we are showcasing. And that's what we want to put forward.
What am I starting with again? Hi, I'm Jayanti Reddy and I'm a fashion designer. It's funny when you say I've been associated with a brand called Kishandas because they're truly family to me. We go back a very, very long way. I think generations almost, both my maternal and paternal grandmother. So it's really chaotic and hectic right now at work. We're, very close to ICW 25. And I've always done Indian traditional garments like I mentioned before, and now there's a very modern twist to it. So even when I did speak to Pratiksha, we gave them just that one brief. There's a lot of Indian garments, but a very, very modern take to it. I think she'd really love it, but I don't know, I feel like she wanted something closer to the neck, so we'll keep the other choker also. But I think the kind of look that I get, the final output when we do collaborate with Kishandas, it just seems like it's all fitting well together. And like I mentioned, it's just, it's very easy to work with the team. It's like working with family, so it's always been a breeze.
So it was the first time I was doing a period drama. It was a very exciting time for me. It was very research heavy. Every time I saw, images or paintings of the era of the Chola dynasty, I couldn't stop looking at the jewelry. It was so beautiful and ornate that choosing the correct jewelers was very, very important to me. And I was talking to all my friends and all my family members. So I was trying to get everybody's inputs, and it was Aditi Rao Hydari, who's from Hyderabad, who told me that, listen, you need to go and check Kishandas jewelry because they are the one who, according to her, were perfect for a film like this.
So Aditi just called me and said that Eka Lakhani, she's a stylist, she will be coming to you.
That's actually not a very good one because she was very rude. She wasn't very forthcoming. I don't think she was very excited about being a part of the film in the beginning because she had her reservations about how film industry works and how jewelry can be misused or mistreated on sets, and I understand where she comes from.
When Eka came, of course, she just said we are making a movie. She didn't say anything about who is making the movie, nothing. Even Aditi hadn't told me. Till Eka was convinced that she wanted to get us. The way she was speaking about the movie, in a cryptic language, one thing what I understood is that there were a lot of characters. So it meant a lot of jewelry, it meant a lot of investment. So I had to go back to my family, So she said, okay, I will get back. And then somebody after 2 days called me from Madras Talkies and said that Eka Lakhani came and met, and this is a Mani Ratnam film. I was sold on that. I said, I am going to make clouds and water meet, and I'm going to see to it that it happens.
I think the film would not be the same if it didn't have the correct costume and the jewelry. It is very integral. I mean, it defines, and Ponniyin Selvan is a very well-known book, and it's kind of established the look, and this one has been in people's mind from the 1950s. So we have to either match it or if not get it more authentic, and that is where the jewelry came into play.
So Mani sir's team gave us a lot of research material because in those times there was no picturesque documentation about the pieces, but there were sculptures, in temples and all. We had references of the type of motifs like peacocks we could use. Of course, we also had do's and don'ts, like we could not use any emblems which, because the Cholas were Shaivites, that they were Shiva followers, so we couldn't use any emblems which were Vishnu oriented. So those type of things, smaller details were given by Mani sir's team, and yes, we did.
We were lucky that we had great support from the jewelry side, and I know there's not a single scene where I'm unhappy with the attire and with the jewelry. So it was, I think, made for each other, I think.
लड़के को बोल रहे हमारे सामने शादी करे तो अच्छा रहता ना।
25 years है।
25 नहीं हूँ मैं। 24 साल का हो गया।
24 साल, एक साल इसलिए बड़ा, अभी एक साल बढ़ के इसलिए बोला जल्दी शादी कर लेंगे।
पर काम हम कैसा करते हैं देखा आपने?
काम तो बहुत एक्सपर्ट है ना।
इनका बेटा भी है।
उन्होंने भी एक्सपर्ट है बहुत।
It's not exactly a pressure, it's more of a responsibility that I have so much at stake on my shoulders along with my brother. But at times there is work pressure which I think I thrive under because my job is to make sure that everybody else's job is going through properly and without any pressure for them.
I'm privileged enough to have a launch pad that my grandpa and my parents and my uncle have created for me that has so much goodwill and the customer trust that I feel it's the most important for me to keep it the way it is and even increase it more. But other than that, I want to take our brand global. I wanted to take it international. And one of the ways is to going digital. I want to create a platform where the customers can also look into a part of our collection online.
What is Kishandas and Company for you in one line? What would it be?
It is everything for me, like entire full, what to say?
Learning never ends. I've learned a lot from my dad. I have the support of my brother and my wife Pratiksha and the vision for the new generation.
Kishandas and Co. for me is the trust and legacy that it carries. I want to take it forward to the whole world to know about it. every year we do a Diwali puja, and during our Diwali puja we have a box. They do the puja of that box, and they put a coin every year. So every year they add a coin to it. So when I got married, I think it was 123 or 124 coins were there, and then we do a new puja for the new coin, and then we add the coin to that. So that is how we know that we are this old a firm, like, you know, as the jewelry business as such. This year we will be 155 years.